So yesterday I had the opportunity, well, I'm not sure if I'd necessarily call it an opportunity, but I was able to go watch Mortal Kombat in theaters yesterday, and this is going to be my review for it. So this was a movie that I was very excited to go check out and stuff, but I have to admit that I wasn't overly pleased with the movie necessarily. There were definitely some things that I really liked about the movie, but the thing that I wanted to see more than anything in the movie was really brutal fights like they were in the video games. Now, of course, they weren't ever going to be as brutal as they were in the games because you just can't really do that under an R rating, but I was expecting more. I was expecting the fights to be actually really awesome and feel impactful and have some sort of weight to them. And in a lot of the cases, with a lot of the fights in the movie, that just wasn't the case. There was a lot of these fights that just felt very weak in a lot of ways. Some of the executions were great. So if you're going into Mortal Kombat expecting to see like really good action and really violent, bloody, you know, gruesome fights like you see in the games, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Like I said, some of the executions were pretty well done, but in a lot of the cases, it just did not meet the kind of standard that I had for what I wanted from a Mortal Kombat movie. Now, if the executions weren't going to be as great as they are in the video game, then they could have at least tried to kind of balance that out with a good story. And that's exactly what they didn't do in the movie. The story is so-so. It's very mediocre. It's very bland. It's very predictable. You know what's going to happen. And it's just kind of like it's there. The story's there. It's doing its thing. You know, it's trying to truck this movie along. And it's just not meeting a very high standard. It just isn't. A lot of the acting was pretty terrible as well. In a lot of cases, this movie felt kind of like a B movie, and it just felt very off, kind of like a fan film sort of Mortal Kombat more than an actual like Hollywood blockbuster. So, you know, those are kind of some of the negative things that I had about this movie. As far as the positives go, there were some positives, but they weren't very many. I would say that this movie is just an okay movie. It isn't like amazing by any means whatsoever, but it also isn't like overly, you know, horrible. It's not like the worst thing I've ever seen, but it was just kind of there, and it wasn't really anything beyond that. You know, it just didn't really give me anything to really hold on to as like, oh, that was something that was super awesome in the movie. There was like maybe 1 or 2 fatalities that I actually was like, that is awesome. That's what I want to see right there. I want to see more of that. But besides that, a lot of the fights, they just felt fake in a lot of ways. They just felt weightless. They didn't have any sort of impact to them. And you know, as far as like the woke elements go, there weren't too many in this movie. There were some things that were obviously, you know, a little eyebrow raising, like the only straight white male character in the movie, Kano, was like, you know, a horrible character in a lot of ways. He was hilarious. He was really funny, but you know, he wasn't like, he was the only character that was, you know, a white male, and he was kind of like made into kind of the clown of the movie in a lot of ways, into the laughing stock in some ways as well. But besides that, you know, that's just a minor thing that I just found interesting about the movie. Besides that, you know, there wasn't a whole lot as far as identity politics go, or there wasn't really any sort of woke nonsense going on. And that's good. That's good. So if you're looking for a movie that doesn't have any of that, I guess you could say that Mortal Kombat would probably fit the bill for that, but it's just not that great of a movie, and I don't think that you need to go watch it in theaters, to be honest. I think that as far as like the fatalities, they're so few and far between. It's fine watching this movie on HBO Max if you really want to. And so with that being said, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. What do you think about Mortal Kombat if you've seen it? What do you think about the characters? Do you think that they did a good job with the movie? I do want to hear what you think in the comments below, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. enjoyed this review, and I will talk to you all very soon in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.